Wow, I think we're pretty much seeing the end of Hillary Clinton's political career and the end of the old guard. And I say that optimistically because of the correlation of the response that, of course, U.S. Congresswoman and presidential candidate Tulsi Gabbard just got on Twitter after ripping Miss Hillary Rodham Clinton a new one. And that's talking about politely. And of course, we're going to talk about Tulsi Gabbard and this bigger shifting of the old guard and this new political establishment in Washington, D.C. I'm going to say some things that are critical of Tulsi Gabbard at the end of this video. But overall, the first initial response that I'm seeing right now should have everyone extremely optimistic, because just a couple moments ago, we of course heard the news. Hillary Clinton speaking to the elitist mainstream journalists that of course she sells access to. And during one of the interviews, Hillary Clinton pretty much made the statement that there's still some kind of Russian collusion, which obviously everyone found out absolutely was not the case. She said that pretty much Tulsi Gabbard, the presidential candidate, a veteran, no other, was a part of a Russian conspiracy that she was somehow going to run third party, was working with Putin to make sure that Donald Trump was going to be elected. And I think this should be a surprise to Hillary, but Hillary should understand that she's the reason why Donald Trump got elected in the first place. She's the reason why Donald Trump is as popular as he is. And she's the reason now why Tulsi Gabbard is getting a lot of support. I mean, right now, Tulsi Gabbard's response to this, as of this moment, as of shooting this video, 71,000.4 retweets, 258,000 retweets. I mean, this is just absolutely an incredible response that is just rebuking everything that the old guard stood for. And you see everyone respond popularly to Tulsi Gabbard, but who do you see respond negatively? Well, the mainstream media. The limousine liberals, as I like to call them, that are still grasping onto that control, and they're trying to spin this in every way possible. And just by doing that, they're getting absolute egg on their face. Hillary Clinton has the most amount of eggs on her face. Pardon me for a second. I'm gonna have to put on my sunglasses because it's just really sunny here. I'm gonna get into what I'm doing. I'm doing these new style videos, kind of walk and talks, kind of being in the flow kind of videos without just bombarding you with headlines. But the real thing that really should make people question what's going on here is that even Justin Amash, U.S. representative, he's saying that Hillary Clinton is the one who is helping out Donald Trump the most. Hillary Clinton is also in a lot of trouble, as we're getting new information that 38 people are cited for violations with 588 offenses in regards to her email. So we're actually getting somewhere, which is absolutely surprising, from someone that seemed just like the boogeyman that was impossible, like almost a freaking Halloween evil villain, like Freddy Krueger, that was always coming back, or Jason, that was always coming back no matter how many political losses she took. And again, she took many political losses, starting off at the DNC when her and Debbie Wasserman Schultz rigged the primaries against Bernie Sanders. What's really interesting is Tulsi Gabbard, who at that time of the rigging, when Hillary Clinton was paving the way for her to run against Donald Trump, she did this in very amazing ways. We're going to check out that building in a little bit as well here as we kind of walk and talk here. But Hillary Clinton pretty much rigged the game during the election with Donald Trump. Screwed over Bernie Sanders. Tulsi Gabbard, that was an up-and-coming rising star, a woman of color, a war veteran who wants Medicaid for all, who wants minimum wage, who wants free education for all. I'm going to get into the topics I disagree with her at the end. But she was a rising popular star, but she saw what Hillary Clinton and disgraced DNC chairman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who was fired for her corruption, automatically rehired by Hillary Clinton, saw the vast amount of just corruption at the DNC, and she spoke out against it, supporting Bernie Sanders, saying, hey, Bernie Sanders is getting screwed over here. And obviously he was. They rigged the system against the delegates, against the people's voice, suppressing it not only at the convention, but also predominantly with the mainstream media coverage, which is very slanted against Bernie Sanders. But Bernie Sanders had many prominent people. The most prominent person that stood up for Bernie, in my opinion, was Tulsi Gabbard at the time, right before the last election. And because of that, Tulsi Gabbard was on the family-friendly show, the poop list of the Democrats. And because she was on the poop list of the Democrats, they went after her and they attacked her. And even though she's a woman of color, a war veteran, someone politically, when you look at her, like, wow, this is someone that has a lot of potential. She's, had military tours. Where am I going? Okay, I'm just gonna walk back into that building. She had many military tours. She is someone that's gonna be a serious political threat. But, of course, she stood up against the Freddy Krueger queen of them all, Hillary Clinton, and now she's getting some of that vengeance. You see a lot of skewed coverage of her. She's pretty much getting the same kind of coverage as Ron Paul is. Ron Paul, of course, when he was running on the Republican ticket, also very anti-establishment, anti-militarism, anti-US intervention ideas being put out there. But he was disgraced by the media establishment. He was laughed at by the media establishment. He was criticized by the media establishment, or he was just censored, with them even hiding the specific amount of popularity in poll numbers that he had, manipulating where he was placed on charts so people wouldn't recognize that he was actually more popular than people realized, getting more support from military veterans than any other candidate at that time, as he was calling for non-interventionalism. The same thing that Tulsi Gabbard is calling for, because it's a popular idea. No one wants war. No one wants conflicts. No one wants to kill your fellow man. Obviously, I would never want to do that, but these crazy, sociopathic, old guard, I would say treasonous murderers like Hillary Clinton, who are just, just doing anything they can for attention, just trying to gather as much of a cry as they can to be heard, are losing their relevance the more that they cry, the more that they're caught with the cookies in their mouth, with the treason that they're doing, with the outright lies that they're pushing. Russiagate was a very big one. We've been calling it out from day one, and we've been attacked from it. Washington Post attacked us, put us on a list, said we're Russian agents for not believing a Hillary Clinton DNC talking point that was against Donald Trump, that was completely made up with the Russian collusion. So no one's buying it anymore. I'm not buying it. The average person's not buying it. There was investigations on investigations looking at every little nook and cranny of Donald Trump. They didn't find any Russian collusion. They found some maybe Russian bots promoting Michael Moore's protest, promoting Black Lives Matter protests, promoting Trump rallies. Yeah, they found some of that. But other than that, it was all a dud. It was all a big lie. And then somehow Hillary Clinton, without any hindsight, without any understanding, this is what also boggles my mind, triples down on it. It says, Tulsi, is there still Russian? What are you talking about? It absolutely makes no sense at all. And with the response that Tulsi Gabbard got to her tweet, I mean, this is just a testament to how the old guard is done. And people need to understand here, when you speak out against corruption, you're going to have powerful people who are benefiting off that corruption try to take you down. And I think this was a very failed attempt that's only going to make her popular, Tulsi Gabbard, more popular, especially in a presidential kind of run that is now wide open. And I think this is why Hillary Clinton attacked and made the comments when she did, because Biden, obviously, in my opinion, was taken down by the squad with the whole Ukrainian corruption. We have Kamala Harris with Tulsi Gabbard bringing up her horrible record as a prosecutor, also going down in numbers. We have Bernie Sanders, who had significant heart problems, who was hospitalized. That also dramatically brings his chances down. So the race is kind of wide open. Mainstream media is kind of trying to push Buttigieg. But this could be something that Tulsi could get. And it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if Tulsi pushed her way to the front line. There's still going to be a lot of dirty tricks used against her because she's anti-interventionalist. And if you look at the mainstream media, they always cover a pro-war, let's go bomb other countries, interventionist foreign policy. It's pretty cool graffiti. That's all over here. But if you look at the mainstream media, all of their voices are always pro-war. So why do you think the media is going to give her a fair shake? The media is not going to give her a fair shake. The media is going to criticize her because the interests that the media is paid for are benefiting off war. And if she's going to get any kind of power or even influence, or even on the world stage, a conversation going about no wars, that's going to mean a big profit loss for the people who really run the mainstream media. And they talk about, when they talk about war, they don't talk about if we should go to war, they talk about how we should go to war, which is just another kind of framing, controlling of the narrative that is absolutely mind-boggling. You would think, hey, we're going to go murder some people over there. There would be at least some kind of discussion, like Syria. There's never a discussion about Syria. There's never a conversation or a dialogue being like, hey, let's actually debate if we should go to war. No. Barack Obama just sent troops there. Hillary Clinton, as Secretary of State with Barack Obama, decided to arm and train the freedom fighters. Who were the freedom fighters? Al-Qaeda, al-Nusra, right? ISIS, that was perfectly engineered, perfectly created in a vast vacuum of power that wouldn't happen if it wasn't for this egregious American foreign policy that creates the problem that it says it's fighting. It's not fighting the problem, it's creating the problem that's gonna, of course, allow them to make money and profit, which is their ultimate kind of end goal here. And I don't know how they justify it, but in my opinion, there's no justifying this at all. So there is a changing of the old guard. I am critical of Tulsi Gabbard on many different issues. She is a member of the Council on Foreign Relations. She does promote Medicaid for all. She does support free schooling and free education. And my criticism of those policies is the medical industry is extremely corrupt. It makes some people more sick than it actually helps them. The education system is an indoctrination system. I can't tell you just the horrendous treatment I got in New York City going to public school there. And some of the school systems teach little kids about trannies. I don't want to have a kid go to a government indoctrination camp where they're taught about trannies. Like, what does that have to do with anything? So for me, Tulsi bolstering up those kind of institutions that are failed, that don't work as effectively, that don't work as good, that are filled with corruption, is only going to create more corruption. So personally, I disagree with her on a lot of the big government policies. I do want to question her about her being a part of the Council on Foreign Relations, which she does deserve to be questioned on. But as you know, I am not a fan of any politician. I am a fan of ideas. And the ideas of calling out Hillary Clinton for her corruption, the ideas of having a non-interventionist, peaceful world, having a world that's not filled with financing, radicalizing, bombing people for the pure benefit of stocks is a good idea. It's ideas that Ron Paul promoted, and just like Ron Paul, I didn't agree with everything he believed in, but I believed in the major conversation that was started because of Ron Paul, and I want to say I support Tulsi Gabbard's larger conversation when it comes to specifically foreign policy. So just kind of wanted to make that clarification. A lot of people here are like, oh, you support Tulsi, you hate Tulsi. No, let's stop worshiping other individuals. Let's stop giving up our authority, our sovereignty, our power over to other individuals and understand ideas are more important than personalities. that's my take on it. What do you guys think? If you think I'm wrong, let me know why in the comment section below. I always appreciate your feedback. I always appreciate your scrutiny. I love having this kind of larger dialogue and conversation about these bigger ideas. I just started a new format that I'm kind of learning from Jeff Berwick, the Dollar Vigilante. I'm actually using his rig. Let me know if you like this, because I'm going to buy this particular camera and microphone if you guys really like this new style and format. But I might do another video about the flow state. I'm probably going to do another video about some post-traumatic stress stuff that I dealt with and was able to recover from. But everything is determined by you, the viewer. So if you want this video, if you like these ideas, you have to share them, because Google won't. YouTube suppresses us. YouTube attacks us tremendously. Let's keep going up here and see what's up here. Sorry, I love walking and exploring. So this is pretty interesting for me to experience as I go through this kind of flow state process of everything that I learned covering politics for 15 years now. It's kind of refreshing being able to just speak my mind and not have to have everything regimented or planned. And if you guys like this, you gotta let me know. You gotta share this video. This video's do well. I'm gonna do more of these kind of walk and talks videos. If there's a protest, if there's something that you want me to cover, something that you want me to see, or you want me to report on, you guys gotta let me know. I'm available through Twitter, Instagram, all under Luke We Are Change. So if you guys have any comments or feedback for me, I always appreciate them, especially because you guys are essentially my newsroom. Without you guys, I'm essentially just a guy with a selfie stick, but helping me, direct me, inform me, keep me in check means the world to me. Let me know what new stuff you want to see. Thank you so much for all your support. Buying t-shirts, sharing the videos means the world to us. Sharing the videos means the world to us. Can't tell you enough about how much, I mean, I could make a whole documentary just how screwed we were by YouTube, but regardless of that, I love you guys, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, and hell, thank you so much for being here, a part of this journey with me. Stay tuned for more on wearechange.org.